Hello, guys, and welcome. I am in Bali, oily and shiny and sweaty. Wow, it's some real shine there. I wanted to do this on my YouTube, but YouTube has made it virtually impossible to do a live video. And when I say virtually, meaning I do not have the technical skills to apply to their new streaming device. So my YouTube audience, if you're wondering why is she doing this on Facebook, it's because YouTube has made it very complicated to just now do a live video, which I've just found. But anyways, moving on. I know you guys are probably, if you're in the States, you are probably sleeping. And so I really felt to share this, and I think I'm going to start doing more live videos in the midst of this time where there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of panic, there's a lot of uncertainty and unknown. And just for any of you who are feeling that right now, I just want to say that your feelings are valid, and that I'm really just sorry that you are experiencing this and you're feeling it. And some of you might be saying, yeah, well, everyone's feeling it. Okay, well, right now I'm talking to just you, and I'm sorry that you right now are feeling this. So just wherever there's fear in your life, where there's uncertainty, where there's panic, I just release peace to those areas right now so that you can hear what I'm having to say. That your body would just settle and rest in. I just speak rest to your body, peace to your body. And I just invite love. We invite love. You can do it with me. We invite love into your atmosphere right now. We invite love, spirit of love, into your home right now. We just invite love into your home. Yeah, that perfect love that removes and casts out all fear. We just invite that spirit of love to just come into your home, that you would partner with that love right now. So it was really interesting. Everyone has different perspectives as to why this is happening, what's going on. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories. There's all sorts of things going on. But, in my world is love and dating and relationships. And I want to speak to that. And I'll tell you a story. My sister-in-law messaged me this morning. We had an earthquake here in Bali. I felt my bed shaking, and I'm a total LA girl, so I felt my bed moving, and I was like, oh, fun, earthquake. And then I just went right back to sleep because I'm quite used to earthquakes. But the wind and the weather, everything outside was going, and I just thought, I talked to God a lot, and I was like, whoa, God. I was like, what the is going on in our planet right now? There is a huge shift. There's a huge change. There's a deep awakening. So back to the story of my sister-in-law. She messaged me, and I asked her, I said, can you send me some videos and pictures of my nephew, because I just love him, and every time I see pictures and videos of him, it just really makes my heart come alive, and just reminds me over and over how valuable my family is to me as I'm abroad and living in Bali. And so she sent me some videos, and she sent me a picture of my brother working on his computer while holding the baby. And she said, it makes for very interesting times, us all having to work from home and trying to raise a baby. And I was like, oh, I can only imagine. And then I looked at that picture, and I thought to myself, how many children who don't get quality time with their parents, who don't get to enjoy their parents' presence because their parents are thinking like, what do I have to do at work tomorrow? How do I pay the bills? How am I going to pay my mortgage? These thoughts that we all have on a daily basis to survive and to function through life. And then when we're with people, they don't even have our presence. It's like, because our mind is everywhere else but the present moment. Because we're just like, because that's what we've been inundated with, right? Of like, be successful, buy a car, have a mortgage. And so like, this is what makes life. Meanwhile, these children who want time with their parents, and their parents just are not present with them. And I thought, how many kids right now are sitting at home with their parents, finally having presence with their parents, finally having presence with their parents. And I thought, whoa, I could just feel it in my heart as an empath. I could feel it. I was like, whoa, these kids must be feeling loved and seen and cared for. And it's like, finally, mom and dad are home, right? And so it's very interesting because this is what I feel. I feel like right now, in this shift, in this awakening that's happening in the midst of calamity, in the midst of despair, in the midst of disaster, that in the midst of this, that there is a huge awakening. And the awakening is this: how many of us, you, me, have we been so distracted with, I gotta make more money, I gotta wear the right clothes, I want to go to the right restaurants, I want to buy the right toys for my kids. How many of us have been so caught up in this? But if I asked you, does your heart feel alive? Do you feel connected? When you're with the people in your life, do you really just take time to enjoy their presence for what they bring? You know, I'm super guilty of that, even here in Bali, which to me is like paradise. I'm pretty sure that Bali is what the Garden of Eden looked like. I mean, just look at my home. I mean, I literally live in the Garden of Eden. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. And even in the midst of this, I found myself with so much anxiety going. I just brought on an assistant. I have my digital marketing partner. I have some team members back in the States, and I'm like, like trying to juggle everything. And I'm like, really, Arica? You have a beautiful pool. You're not even swimming in that pool because you're in your work clothes working while people are running around in bikinis, and you're working and driving yourself crazy because you've got so much to do and get done. Sorry, sorry about that. You've got so much to do and get done, and you're not even in the present, and you're freaking living in the Garden of Eden right now. Come on, girl, come on. And so I think that can become a lot of us, right? Like, you know, for some of you who have been single and you go on a date and you're like, oh my gosh, I just would love to get on a date. Then you get on a date and it's like, well, where's this going to go? Or some of you, like, you longed for a relationship and you're in a relationship and you're like, oh, they're a pain in the ass. Or some of you wanted to get married and you're in that marriage and you're like, all my partner does is bitch. Or you wanted kids and you finally have kids and you're like, they cost too much damn money. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's very, we're not conditioned to be present with what we have. Instead, we're very conditioned to get more. And what that does is it drives us to be distracted. It drives us to constantly push and to stay busy. And when we're constantly busy, we're missing out on the essence of life and being present. When we're constantly busy, we cannot connect to source. We cannot connect to God. It's more like we connect to God, like, okay, yeah, make this stuff happen. But like, we miss out on that relationship aspect. And so I think that this is a real invitation for all of us to really slow down and really come back to ourselves. Because I personally believe, I don't know, you tell me, I personally believe that a lot of us are living life. We're living someone else's life. Can I be real with you? Can I tell you the truth of what I see? I think that most of us are living lives that someone else designed for us, that we didn't even get a say so in this, that you got pushed into a school, then you got told, oh, you go to college, oh, you get a job, oh, you get to vacation once, maybe twice a year, oh, you buy a house, oh, you buy the car, oh, you go to the gym. And then when you hit about 60, 70, then you can retire, then you can enjoy life. And so many of us are living these lines that were designed by a system, designed by people who profit from us living these lives. I mean, how many people have college debt right now? So a lot of us are living lives that we didn't even choose. And then we wonder, like, why am I not happy? Why do you think happiness books sell so well? Because so many of us are not happy. Because we're living out a life that we didn't design, that we just got into this matrix system and we started doing life out of that. And I feel like this time really is just kind of stopping everything and bringing us back to ourselves and asking ourselves, like, what really matters. I had this situation where this bracelet right here, I bought this in Sydney, Australia, and I just like had a thought. I was like, Arica, like, because I like nice things. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with nice things. I like nice things. But I was thinking about, I was like, if we got quarantined in Bali, which we haven't yet, there are businesses shutting down here. People are going back to their countries. I'm not. I'm choosing to stay here because I feel very supported here with my work in terms of I can connect to nature. I can connect to God very deeply here. And to be able to serve people's hearts, I have to stay connected to God. Otherwise, if I'm in fear and all that, then I can't serve other people. So this place supports me. But I was thinking, like, if we did get quarantined here, and with this bracelet, this Chanel bracelet. Now this means stuff to me. Like there's something about this that really resonates with me. But would it matter? Like if people are looking for food or water or something like that, like would my Chanel bracelet really matter? It's like, no, of course not. Like it means nothing. And it made me think like all the things that we work so hard for, like if we were really brought down to the basics of life, are the things that we're working so hard for, do they even really matter in the light of things? Like right now in the light of things, like people are being, isolated in their homes. And I think this is really a time for us to come back to ourselves, to come back to our hearts and to ask our hearts, like, what really matters? What really matters? And so it's a quiet time, right? This is us being forced to rest. Now I don't know about you, but as an intuitive, as an empath, as a light worker, as a coach, someone who's plugged into the collective, there are periods where like I feel like things just shut down for me, and it's like God's message of like either you rest and come back to yourself, or I will create situations that force you to rest. And to me, this is a huge, we are being forced to rest. And it's in the quietness, it's in the stillness, it's in the peace that we find our answers. We find ourselves. And so I just want to challenge you, like, in this time where you're being stuck in your home, where you're not getting influenced by everything and the busyness of life, the chaos of life. Yeah, you might still be plugged into your phone. You might still be being influenced by social media and all these other things, but it's really intentional and saying like, what really matters? Do my children really matter to me? Does my wife really matter to me? Does love really matter to me? I not to go off on too big of a tangent, but in my travels, it's really broken my heart because, I'm with a lot of single people. And to hear the disregard for relationships, so many people, I want an open relationship. I mean, that's kind of what's going on amongst the singles. Oh, I don't know if I believe in a committed relationship. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in that. And I'm just like, ooh. So we've lost the value of people and being in a relationship with people. And I know this might push some people's buttons, and that's fine. I'm okay with pushing your buttons. But yeah, there's I feel, and I could be wrong, it could just be the areas that I'm in, but LA, Paris, now Bali, and all of these, it's like the regard for people, the value is very low, but there's such a regard for our careers. There's such a regard for money. And I always say, like, this is a story I say over and over, that back to 9/11, when America, as the country that I'm from, when we had huge tragedy, 9/11, people were going down. Were they really thinking like, shit, is that deal going to go through so I can like get that Ferrari or I can get that next house? Or were they thinking, oh my God, I better call my wife and I better tell her how much I love her? Shit, I've been so consumed with work that I've completely neglected my wife. I've been so consumed with making money and buying more stuff so that I can impress my friends for 5 minutes that I've missed out on my children's hearts. Like, let me ask you, like, do you know the people in your life? Do you know what makes your children happy? Do you know what makes them afraid? Do you know what makes your wife come alive? Do you know the things that she secretly desires from you? For my singles out there, you know, do you know your value? Do you know that there's someone out there that really does want your presence, that actually needs your presence in their life? Do you understand that that's what you secretly crave and desire? Are you even cognizant of that? There's our staff back there. They don't know that they're about to be on YouTube and Facebook. But do you know that you're loved and you're valued? I think these are important questions. Like skip even going to the family part. Let's just get back to the basics. Do you know that you're loved and valued? Do you know how precious you are? Do you know how significant you are? Do you know your value on this planet? I don't know. I really believe that this is an opportunity to come back home, come back to ourselves, come back to source of love, which is inside of ourselves. This is a huge time. It's no coincidence that you're being forced to stay in your home, because I believe the bigger picture is you're being forced to come home. We're being forced to face ourselves. We're being forced to sit quiet with ourselves. We don't have the luxury of running out and getting distracted. But we do have the luxury. This is such a rich time, such a deep time to come back home. And so I just want to remind you that in this moment, those of you who are watching, when you come back home, I just wanted to remind you of what's waiting for you at home, here, in your heart, your being. That, my darling, that you matter. That you are irreplaceable. There's not another of you on this planet. Like, when I say we need you, we really need you. I'll give you a perfect example. Just before I was doing this video, and I got frustrated with YouTube and was cussing them out. Just before I did that, my girlfriend reached out to me, and she said, she asked me, about where I'm staying. I said, I'm going to stay in Bali. I feel very supported here. I don't feel like it would do me much good going back to the States right now, other than being with my family. But for the most part, I feel like this is where I'm supposed to stay so that I can continue to serve my family and serve my clients and serve the collective from a place of peace and joy and beauty and safety and love and wholehearted living. And so she challenged me, and she said, oh, I still hear fear in your voice. So you're saying you don't want to be, in fear, but I can hear fear in your voice. And I said, oh, I appreciate you challenging me in that, because there is fear in my voice. And she said, why is that? And I said, oh, because I really feel like this is a time I need to step up. I don't feel like I've really been showing up the way I should be in my business and my work. And I said, so I have this fear that my voice really doesn't matter. Like who really cares about what I have to say during coronavirus? I'm just being really honest. I'm being really transparent, showing you my little girl. Oh, my voice doesn't matter. There are so many other important, powerful people talking about this. I don't think what I have to say. And she just reminded me of my power and my connection to God and my connection to love. And so it just really, really touched me. And I messaged her back and I said, listen, I really needed you in that moment, because I was, I am nervous. I'm a little fearful. I'm a little scared to show my heart and speak from this kind of place, because I always just speak from a strong place of telling people what to do, But I said, babe, I really needed you. You were God to me in that moment. And I'm going to say the same thing to you, that I really need you, that the people in your life need you, that you need you. You need to slow down and support you, baby. I'm taking time to nap, put on soft music, I need to go get in the water, do some swimming, whatever it is that you need to do to come back home, play board games with your family, watch funny movies with them. Whatever it is that you can do to come back home, get a guitar out and play your guitar. But it's time for us to come home, and we're needed. You got to come home because we need you to come home. So just want to remind you that you're loved and you matter. And the best thing that you can do in your dating and relationships during this coronavirus time is to come back to you, because without you, nothing else matters. You're the most important person. You're the most important person. You can't serve your family, you can't serve your career, you can't serve your ministry, whatever you're doing with your life, your influence, whatever. You can't serve any of that until you come home to you, because this is where your power is. Your power is in here, right? You're powerful. You're more powerful than you realize. But maybe you've lost sight of that power because you're not connected here. I know I have. I know I've gotten too distracted with running my business and da-da-da-da-da. But come back home. That's your invitation today. I feel like I'm going to start doing these. I got challenged by a friend and said, you should start doing more live videos and speaking. But yeah, I really get a sense that this is a real time for coming home, and it's a time to ask ourselves what really matters in my life, not what I've been told should matter in my life, not what the pressures of life keep demanding of me, but what really matters to me. And we're being invited into an invitation to have those answers answered from within. I hope this helps someone. But I'm sending you a lot of love from Bali. I hope you can feel that love. I hope you can feel that peace, and just know that you're supported, that you're nurtured, that you're not alone, that we're meant to do this together, that we so need each other. We so need you. You're so valuable. You're so valuable, baby. And I'm speaking directly to your heart. You're so valuable, baby. And we need you. So come back home. Come back to that peace. Come back to that love. Come back to that joy in finding the impossibility of life to be magical again. And what can really be created from you, from that source of love and power. All right, guys, I will see you soon. This is from my heart. I hope that you can feel my heart. I hope you feel loved. And I will see you guys real soon. Take care. Bye.